Only one that was good was the Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles, that is a special place in my heart.
Cowabunga, dude.
Cowabunga, dude.
Have any of you guys came across this story about this Florida sheriff who has defended the revelation of his past where when he was 14 years old, he killed a man?
Oh, shit.
In self-defense.
Yeah.
And now people that are like, what the fuck? Because he's an elected official, right? Because he's actually like the county sheriff.
He's the sheriff, yeah.
And so now people are like, why the fuck didn't you tell us you killed someone when you were 14?
It's hard to lead a speech with that.
And then they were
It's not an Eminem rap battle where you fucking diss yourself first.
Yeah, why would they?
Yeah, because like in their eyes is like, well, you're like supposed to protect the community, but you did something so heinous in the past and you didn't.
But he's been a sheriff for like more than 14 years of his life.
It was self-defense.
And it was self-defense. He didn't go to jail for it. What the fuck?
So it ended up happening back in 1993 when he was 14 years old. There was this local drug dealer guy who was harassing him and his brother. And so this 18-year-old drug dealer ended up chasing him and his brother because he pulled out a gun, and then he chased him and his brother into his house. And that's when Tony, the sheriff, pulled out his father's handgun and shot the drug dealer several times in self-defense. So because of that reason, he was exonerated, the juvenile courts were sealed, and he never ever got charged with anything, right? So because of that reason, it never like popped up in any like background checks and stuff. But somehow this came to light, and
Wouldn't you want a badass sheriff like that?
That's what I'm
When
thinking.
I was a kid, I fucking did this, and afterwards I was like, there's too many criminals in the world. I gotta do something about it. And then he became sheriff man.
Yeah, I've been fighting crime.
Since 14 years old. How about you, bitch?
It's also at an age where that could traumatize you. You don't want to bring that up, and it's like part of your past.
Exactly. And then like, I'm with you, Joe, because when I read the story, I was like, why would that is a sheriff you would want.
Yeah.
What's the other argument?
I think it's the transparency
It's that.
aspect. Is that,
It's that
well,
part.
if you're gonna elect someone that has the capabilities of shooting someone, then we want to know. But then you go back to the idea of like, you're a fucking cop. I expect you to shoot people.
So it's that.
Yeah.
It's a fucking weird backlash.
And it's
weird
also,
backlash.
the backlash is also, like, it's grown a little more because of the fact that Tony has doubled down and said, like, I don't need to disclose this with you at all. Like, this was from fucking 27 years ago or however long. And it was self-defense. I don't need to go into the details of this entire case with you, like the public, right?
Yeah, there are statutes of limitations, so if it's 27 years, it's a long fucking
But if he's becoming he's running for like a public office position or
He's already,
he's the head of, like he's the sheriff.
he's a sheriff.
Oh.
just got
County
elected.
sheriff.
County sheriff. Just recently announced.
So that is a public position.
Exactly. So that's why people feel entitled to know what happened. And then even like the lawyer came out and like his attorney, he said that he doesn't have the files from
Technically he
27
doesn't,
years
but it's a
ago.
bad PR move. I mean, he doesn't have to literally tell anybody, but as a sheriff, I think it might be your public duty to talk about it.
I don't think so, because I feel like at that stage, people are also dumb where they're like, if you did talk about it, they will start looking at you a different way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how long ago was it?
27 years.
27
But it's a
years?
sign of leadership and strength. I think a publicity move.
But it's just
You
been
take
so
a
long that you wouldn't
statement
even
of, "I
think
wanna
about
talk
bringing it up, you know?
Yeah. No, but even if you don't even remember, just lie. That's what a great politician does, right? They create a good fucking story, and then they, like, I'm a better politician than this motherfucker, because I wouldn't run away from it. I'll be like, I was 14 years old. I got chased by this drug dealer. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. And then I said, my daddy taught me how to shoot. And I said, well, it's either me or him, and I had to save my brother. Boom! Killed that motherfucker! And then I was prepared to go to jail. I went to the cops, and then I realized this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So you vote for me, because I'll protect you, and I'll shoot those drug dealers down. Bam, motherfucker. Vote me in. That's what I'll do.
There's a lot of grit in what you just said, that's for sure. And I'm not too sure if like the aristocratic, we're in the Florida, right? South, the aristocratic South is like, I don't know. That's like,
All the states, I believe, the state where Mr. Trayvon got shot, and is the state where people would back that kind of behavior.
Maybe he doesn't want to use the fact that he killed someone as a
Right.
political move.
That's true. He's like, why can't we talk about how I fucking
That's exactly what he said.
and how I did a fucking bake sale?
No, he was like, why can't we talk about the last 27 years of
Cleaned up the streets,
professionalism?
or, yeah, like what are the things on his resume?
What about that food drive I did? You guys don't want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Maybe it even affects him in a negative way, whether or not he self-defended himself, right? Maybe he's like, I don't want to talk about the fact that as a teenager I had to kill a person.
Yeah, but
Did
say it's
nobody
also,
taste my cinnamon rolls during the bake sale? It was fucking good.
it's like say someone that has, was like a politician or someone that was elected was raped as a kid. And they put that behind them. Would they also have to disclose that information when they run?
I guess because he's not
Exactly,
committing
right?
a crime, it would be different.
If he committed a crime,
He
it was
didn't
like,
commit a crime either because
He didn't commit a crime.
Yeah.
Like
It was in self-defense.
He wasn't charged.
it's in self-defense. It's something that he
questionable
could-
crime?
Yeah, like
But if he was a victim, that's true. He was a victim of having to shoot somebody for being,
and especially at that young of an age, like
Yeah.
it's not something that like we also forgive at like up to a certain point depending on what you do, and that's part of your past. Plus, he was completely like the victim if the story like is true.
And it's also like the timing part is hard because if he goes, okay, I want to run for sheriff.
When do I tell them?
Yeah, do I tell him now? Okay, or maybe should I wait until I'm about to get elected?
and after you get elected, you're like, by the way, I killed someone. Let's get
It's almost
down.
like no good time.
Because what you could say is, oh, he's a trigger-happy sheriff. He might do that to a.
That's exactly the people's arguments
He
too.
was 14 years old.
Also, as a sheriff, you're not out there just being like, hello, public.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
in the office.
You know what?
Fucking curly mustache.
I feel like all the people that do judge him, they should pull up what they did when they're fucking 14 years old and see if they still want to be branded.
He
for all
who
the
has
shit
not
that they
sinned
did.
must throw the first stone, kind of thing.
Or in Dave Chappelle's words, he without sin will throw the first rock and he will smoke it.
But also, what he did was good. Is nothing that he did was bad.
So this is Gregory Tony, the sheriff. And
I'm racist because I pictured a complete redneck with a hunter's shirt. So I apologize for my thoughts.
you didn't have to tell us.
Yeah, and he was also wearing an orange hunter's vest.
Just all the time.
No, I didn't picture a black man.
Was he wearing the hat too and everything?
Elmer Fudd hat.
Yeah, that one. I forgot his name.
No. He had a cop's haircut. You know, like a buzz cut. Yeah. And a mustache.
Was it curly?
No. It wasn't like that. It wasn't. No. It was like a cop
stash.
Yeah, cop stash.
I pictured
The
Elmer
cone.
Fudd and the Samity. What's the
Yosemite Sam?
Yosemite Sam.
that guy? I picture that like merged.
Well, now that it's out in the open, are people finally calming down? Like he's talking about it now?
Yeah, what are the actual...
Or are people like, I would have taken my vote back if I would have known?
There's people that are like that because like, and also, you know, with the elections and all that, like the next time he gets elected or whatever, like there's people that are like, well, I won't vote for him in the next time.
Because he shot somebody when he was 14.
Well, because he didn't disclose that to the
You
public.
think this is a race thing now that you brought up the whole race thing? I'm like, fuck. Like, do you think it was like, so imagine like
Yeah.
the sheriff is black, and when he was 14, he had a gun, black youth with a gun, shot and killed someone.
Might have been white.
Yeah, but if this person was white, do you think the public?
I think it would have been worse if he was white. I think
don't
with the cops and everything, with having a white cop that shot someone, they would be like, oh, he could go around and shoot like a black person. Him being black surprised me in terms of how they're still going after that. If that was
It didn't
based on a race.
surprise me. Actually, it made more sense because for me, I'm thinking about it in community, right? And in a white community in Florida, Republican, I'm assuming, right, that they're more pro-gun and they would like a sheriff that fights crime, like with a gun, right? Versus stereotypically, minority communities are more anti-gun. So when they heard this, they're probably like, what the fuck? What kind of sheriff are you? And so when I saw that he was a minority, it made more sense than a white sheriff. That's why I pictured a white cop.
Yeah, and who's leading the charge? Is it the other guy who lost the election?
He's tattletelling.
That wants to keep pointing this out?
Right.
He's not transparent. He's not transparent.
That makes sense.
Well, the governor did mention that most, like, the residents have been mostly positive, and then pointed out that voters will be able to speak with their vote in the next election, but there are just certain people that are like, what the fuck?
And how do the Cubans feel? Because we only said white and black, but there's a huge Cuban population. So I'm like, who's he the sheriff of? What kind of community?
It's Broward County.
I have no idea.
Upwards, downwards,
Is that Miami?
to left or right?
Orlando.
That sounds like where Miami is.
Jacksonville.
Just from the sound of the name of the
Sounds like it is. I could have sworn I saw it in Bad Boys or something.
It's one of those things.
Dade County. It's Miami, right? I don't know.
No, Dade.
Dade County.
Dade.
Wade. Dwayne Wade, Miami Heat. Dade County. God damn it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Boca Raton.
I don't know my Florida statistics.
But he's been a good cop for 20 something years.
I don't know how long he's been a cop, but
That's almost like
That's a long time.
there's a statute of limitations if you fart and didn't announce it, and it's been a long time. If you didn't announce it, then it's like,
Yeah, after 30 minutes, you gotta talk about it.
yeah, you don't gotta talk about it, but you should have announced it when it happened.
Okay, but like, okay, I'm sure in his 27 years, especially how long he's been a cop to move up to being a sheriff, he's probably talked about it. How many times is he gonna have to talk about it?
no, because he's actually, they mentioned like he just never, so he says
No one
that
ever knew about it?
He didn't see the need to disclose that 1993 killing to the governor or on other applications during his law enforcement career because he was a juvenile and he was cleared.
Yeah.
Well, they do ask you
like a
if
felony, but he didn't commit a felony.
tolerated, so he didn't have to.
Yeah, so
That's
like, where
true.
did he put it on the
That's why
form?
you get
You go,
exonerated.
P.S. I killed a man once.
But I wasn't convicted.
Yeah. Like, where do you put it?
That's true.
So it's like it probably he wouldn't have gotten a job based off that record, you know?
Makes sense.
Which he proven himself to be moving up in the ranks. You know?
I mean, that's the point of going to court, right? So, and having a record and all that shit. So if you don't have a record, why should you still be branded
Right.
with as a criminal when you're not considered one?
Yeah, it's so weird that like, okay, you go to court, so they could tell you if you're guilty or innocent, right? They told him he's innocent, so he's an innocent man. But now it's like you have to, what the public is saying is, as an innocent man, you have to also carry around this story that could make you potentially put you in a guilty perspective of some sort. It's weird.
I was almost guilty, but I wasn't.
Yeah. Just to let you know.
And I farted, so shut up.
Try my cinnamon rolls.